ears only. And oh man, goddamn. Woo. So, day 3 of Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion shooting trial. The ex-best friend of Megan Thee Stallion came in, and as I stated in my previous video, they went for recess, they went for lunch or whatnot, and she came back. And when she came back, this time after getting her immunity and taking the fifth, there was fireworks, there was gunshots, and there was bombs being dropped. Man, this whole trial is messy. But anyways, don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Check it out from someone who was
I saw
actually at the
academic in there
courthouse
too.
today.
But
Let's go.
is he live hopping? Oh no, he here. Bruh, bruh.
Hey,
You
what's good?
done
What's
been around
good?
the block tonight. How you feeling about this shit today?
Hey, listen, man. I kid you not. This is like a movie where I couldn't predict the ending, but this
It's
shit crazy, huh?
insanity.
Nah. Hey, listen. Let me tell you this. I was wondering how the afternoon session was gonna go, but in no way, shape, or form
Exactly.
I
The
could have
morning
predicted
went
this
so
shit.
well. And it
No,
just was like, fuck Megan.
I,
Kelsey should have got on the mic and just said,
hey,
fuck Megan. And she should just get her district.
hey, you know what I was saying? You know what I was saying? I was like, yo, I'm wondering because obviously the prosecutor now was gonna try to say she's getting paid off by Tory. I'm wondering if it's maybe not even that, and she just hate Meg that damn much. Like fuck her. Hey, yo, explain it to me. What did you see in court? Give us a breakdown. Everybody wanted Milagros breakdown. They love you on my channel.
They should. Everybody be loving me, even when they think they don't like me. Them hoes love me. Listen, let me tell y'all what happened. And y'all listen to for all them people that just came in and was asking me to go over it. So what happened was, we come in, Kelsey come in. No, we already did this morning. Let me skip because we talked this afternoon. Yeah, fuck all of that. So let me skip here. Hold on. These pages. So we came back in at about 2:50. And so they jumped right back into questioning. Kelsey, when y'all got back in the car, could you tell that Megan was injured? And she said, oh, wait. Yeah, this back when we got back. Could you tell that anybody was injured? That Megan was injured? She said, I didn't see. It was a blur. No, this can't be the first page. No, we must have took a break. Because what time we got back, bitch? This shit, hold on. Because I need to know the last thing I told you.
Was it after 1:30?
Yeah, it had to be. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Back at 1:35. Boom. I had to get it. So I'm like, no, that's too late. That don't make sense. All right. So we come back in at 1:35. They said before lunch, you said that Tory threatened you. She said some of the things that I stated weren't accurate or true. Black and white. That's what she said. Ask her again. You told us that Tory threatened you. She said, I can't remember. And so they said you told us that you were going back and forth with him and that he was going back and forth with Megan and y'all was all arguing and it went like this and it went like that. She said, no, that did not happen. I lied. They said, but that's what you told us, right? She said, on that day, I said that, but that night I was under the influence. They said, didn't you say that, when Tory said that he'll shoot you, that he motioned like he was going to the console, but that he never pulled anything out? And that you said, if you shoot me, then you shoot me. I guess it's my time to go. And then they said, do you recall saying that Tory reached for a gun? She said, just a motion. He never came back with anything. He just motioned for the console and there was nothing. They said, did you ever tell us that he reached for the console? She said, I told you that there were things that weren't true about what I told you. And then they said, didn't you say that you have people that'll defend you if he did shoot you? And she said, yeah, I said that. She said, you talked about the argument and that Tory, was calling Megan bitches and hoes and that you jumped in because you told him, I don't care what happens, don't talk to her like that. Okay. They said, what happened after that? She said, I believe we pulled over, but I don't know if it was Megan or Tory that wanted us to pull over first. She said the first time that we pulled over, Megan got out the car and Tory got out the car behind her to go talk to her. So Megan's whole motherfucking story, Estee Lauder. Megan's whole motherfucking story of going by the bus stop on Sunset Boulevard and she don't know what Tory was and they was in the car and all that shit. Obviously, it's not fucking true because she said Tory got out the car to go follow and talk to her. So they said, was Megan's phone dead or dying at the time? She said, I don't believe it was dead. They said, when Megan and Tory got back in the car, how did they feel? She said, oh, how was the vibe? She said, a very relaxed vibe. It was very relaxed. Everybody got back in the same seats. When they got in, after a little minute, they started arguing again. And so they said, what was they arguing about? And then she said, you know, they argued about the artistry. And they pressed her about that. So they had to play the audio to remember her so she could refresh her memory because she had already started with I don't recall shit. And so the accusation was that Megan told Tory, you only hot because of Jack Harlow. They tried to make, yeah, that's what was said in court. They tried to make, tried to make Kelsey pinpoint at least one thing that was said about his artistry. So Kelsey said that Megan told her, you only hot because you on that remix with Jack Harlow. Okay. And then Tory came back and said whatever he said. They said they stopped the car again. And the prosecutor said, and this is where the shooting took place, right? Kelsey said there were gunshots. That's how she phrased it. And then they said, didn't you tell us that Tory said, because y'all was arguing and coming at him, let these hoes out my car, let these bitches out. This is my motherfucking car. So Megan said she wanted to get out the second time. But Kelsey said, Tory, put them hoes out of his motherfucking car. You want to talk shit to me? Bitch, it's my car. Get the fuck out. That's what Kelsey said he told the driver, like told them, get the fuck out of my car. And so Kelsey said that was the final thing that he said. So that goes against Megan with the dance bitch. Because Kelsey said the last thing he said before the incident was, get the fuck up on my car. This is my car. And so they played the audio where, you know, she said those different things and that they pulled over. They said, Kelsey, did Tory try to bribe you? She said, not just me, but I wouldn't say the word bribe. They said he tried to bribe you about not saying anything. Like, did he mention $1 million? She said he mentioned $1 million, but I don't know why. They said, okay, gunshots went off. And you saw what happened during the shooting, didn't you? Kelsey said verbatim, the way I was positioned, no. Okay. She said we got back in the car and everybody told her to shut up. It wasn't just Tory. They said, Tory told you to shut up, didn't he? She said, everybody told me to shut up. They said, why? And then she said, because she was crying and she was upset. They said, did he say that I will give you $1 million to stay quiet? She said, no. They said he mentioned a label deal. And did he try to bribe you with other favors? She basically said, if that's what it said on the paper, yeah, but I don't know, I guess. They said, didn't he offer to get you an attorney? They played audio from an interview in September of this year. And in the audio, she said, this is Kelsey. So anyway, he was very apologetic. And I told him that he was wrong for what he did. And he said that, she said, I guess that Holly, the lawyer, you know, advised him to ask her a particular type of way if she wanted help with maybe working under him or maybe getting an investment from him or something like that. And so they said, do you remember him telling you that? She said, no. And then she said, what about him asking you, is there something that you want to do? Like, is there anything basically that I can like put some money into? Like, is there anything you want to do? And no, she don't remember that. They said, didn't Tory ask you for a hug and you didn't want a hug? Is that what happened? She said, no. They said, when y'all stopped the car the second time, Megan got out. And what happened? Kelsey said that her and Megan got out at the same time on the passenger side. And both of the doors was left open. They said, what did you see? She said, I don't know what I saw. She said, I said things to protect myself that night. I didn't see anything. Multiple gunshots went off, they said. They said, so what happened after that? She said, I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I think she went over to the sidewalk and then I went over there. They said, did you say that you got out the car and opened the door and that you heard 5 gunshots? She said, I can't recount. I don't know how many gunshots it was. They said, didn't you say that Tory jumped into the front seat after the third shot? And you looked up after you heard that third shot and you saw him standing right there, pointing that gun? She said, again, I was not being truthful. They played the audio where Kelsey said in an interview in September, I looked up after I was getting out the car. She said, because she really wasn't paying attention. She said, when you be in the car and you getting out, you don't really be looking around, you getting out the car. She said, so when she heard the second and third gunshot, she looked up and then he was leaning over the door. She said, that's what I told you. Okay. They said, did you tell us that you saw Tory shoot her over the door? She said, I was drunk and it was a blur. We go on a break. We come back. People upset now because Kelsey is saying something completely different than what the fuck they expected. They said, did you see Tory shooting? She said, I didn't see him shooting. They said, did you shoot Megan? She said, no. They said, do you know who shot Megan? She said, no. They said, did you shoot Megan? No. They said, did you hold a gun? No. Did you ever apologize for having a gun and being a part of the shooting? No. They said, who apologized that night? She said, I don't recall an apology that night. They said, after you saw Megan limp over to the driveway, then what happened? She said, I don't know. She said, did you go check on her? Yeah. They said, didn't you tell us that Megan was bleeding? She said, I don't know where it was coming from. They said, was Megan bleeding in the driveway? She said, no. They said, didn't you tell us that Megan looked up and saw you and then she looked like a deer in headlights? She said, yeah. You know, if that's what you got to know, yeah. They said, did you tell us that he was pointing the gun at Megan? And after the shots, everyone froze? She said, again, the whole night is a blur. They said, did you tell us that he came around the back of the car and you were scared of him, you know, and you didn't know what he was going to do? She said, I said a lot of things. They said, did you tell us that Tory assaulted you and that Quan picked you up like a doll and said, they do this all the time, Kelsey, come on. She said, refresh my memory on that. So they played the audio and they said, you told us this, you know, in the interview. And then they said, you told us a lot of stuff in September. Like, what's going on? She said, I don't care to be here. And I got a sick baby and I got postpartum depression. And so they said, how did you feel about Megan and, you know, how this situation basically transpired? She said, I felt betrayed by Megan and upset that Megan started rumors that I took hush money. They said, didn't you tell us in September that Tory assaulted you? She said, I said that. She said, didn't you say that he punched and slapped you? She said, again, I said a lot of things. They said, did you tell us that your necklace broke? She said, yeah. They in the midst of fighting Tory that your necklace broke off. She said, yeah. They said, is that what happened? She said, no. She said, I don't know if it fell or if it broke, but when I woke up the next day, I realized my necklace wasn't there. They said, what happened to your chain? She said, I don't know. They said, didn't you tell us that your nail broke? She said, I don't know how my nails was. They had the picture on the screen. And so she said, I don't know how my nails was, but yeah, I told you that. She said, but that didn't happen. They said, didn't you tell us that Tory pulled your hair and your neck so hard that it was like a tug of war and that's what broke your chain because Quan was pulling you the other way? Okay. And so she said, again, I said a lot of things. They said, did Quan try to get y'all back in the car? She said, no, we just got back in the car. They said, did anyone approach you and Megan in the driveway? She said, it was all a blur. They said, what happened in the car? She said, I don't know. It was a blur. They said, did you send that text to Justin? She said, yeah. We took a break. That's when we came back in at 2:50. So they said, Kelsey, when y'all got back in the car, could you tell that Megan was injured? She said, I didn't see. It was a blur. They said, Kelsey, what is going on with you today? What happened from September to today that you forgot everything? She said, I told you what I was going through. I have a sick baby and a funeral to plan, plus postpartum depression and a host of other things. They said, Kelsey, have you ever been around the shooting or been involved in anything like this? She said, no. They said, okay, when it comes to you and your memory of this, don't you get a lot of pushback on social media? She said, yeah, and I still get it to this day. They said, so how did you forget all of this stuff when people are constantly reminding you of it by way of attacking you on social media? Kelsey said, oh, I take social media breaks. Okay. They said between September and now, Kelsey said, I have been through a lot. They said, Kelsey, did anybody from the defense contact you since September? She said, no. And since they interviewed, they said, did you send that text off about help? You know, Tory did this. She said, yeah, but, you know, I don't remember what I said. So they put the text messages up. They said, did you send this text to Justin? And she said, yeah. They said, why did you send it? She said, because I panicked. They said, why did you tell us that Tory shot Megan? She said, because I made assumptions. They said, did you tell us in September that you text Justin for help because he shot Megan? She said, I did not see Tory shoot her. They said, did you tell them to take Megan to the hospital? And Megan said, call T. Ferris. But you had to send him a message because your signal was bad. She said, yeah. They said, did you try to send your location to T. Ferris? She said, yeah. They said, did you text your mom help? She said, yeah. They said, did you also say that you were physically and emotionally broken? She said, I don't recall that. They said, were you injured that night? She said, yes. They said, how did you get injured? She said, I saw my injuries the next day. I don't remember. So they pull up a picture of Kelsey's leg that has a huge bruise on it. They said, how did you get this bruise? She said, I saw it the next day. I don't know how I got it. So then they put up another picture. There's another bruise on another leg, or maybe the back of the leg, but I think it was the other leg, the shin, all along the shin. Like maybe she got dragged up the damn street. And then she had a bruise on her arm and a bald patch at the top of her head. And when I say a bald patch, like a literal bald patch. They said, did you take these pictures? She said, yeah. They said, why you take it? She said, because I saw it on my body. They said, have you gotten bruises before while you were drunk? She said, yeah. And they said, have you taken pictures before of your bruises while you were drunk? And that you got while you were drunk? And she said, I don't know if I took pictures then. I don't remember. But I did this time. They said, didn't you tell us that you had gotten bruises from Tory assaulting you? She said, yeah, that's what I told you. They said, why did you take a photo of your head with the bald patch? They said, because I had a bald patch. Kelsey said, because I had a bald patch and I've gotten bald spots before and I wear a lot of ponytails. So I was just looking at the bald patch in my head and I took a picture of the bald patch. They said, didn't you call somebody that you was talking to when y'all was in the car and you told them that you just wanted them to be on the line and you left the line open because you were scared and you wanted them to be able to hear what was happening? She said, I did call somebody, but I did not call them for that reason or at that time. She said, I called them once the police sirens popped up and there was a whole bunch of shit going on with the police. She said, that's when I called him and I put him on the phone so he could hear what was happening with that. They said that Megan had her leg on her in the car. So they said, did Megan bleed on you? She said, I don't know. So they showed a picture of Kelsey with blood on her leg. She said, I don't know who blood that is. They said, was Megan bleeding in the car? Kelsey said, no. They showed the photos of the blood in the car because in these photos, there's a towel that's soaked with blood. The console has blood, soaked loosely, but it had blood on it. There was some blood droplets on her suitcase, and there was blood on the console. So they said, do you recognize this? Kelsey said, no. They said, were there bloody towels in the car? She said, to my knowledge, no. But mind you, she was sitting in the back seat with Megan, and that's where the towels were found on the floorboard of the back seat. But she said, to my knowledge, no. She said, that is my suitcase in the picture, but I don't know who blood that is on there. They said, was Megan bleeding? She said, yeah, but I don't know where from. And I never asked her what she was bleeding from. They said, did Tory tell you to shut up when you got back in the car? She said, yes. And they said, why did he tell you to shut up? She said, because I was drunk and crying. No, she said, because I was crying. They said, why were you crying, Kelsey? She said, because I was drunk. Okay. They said, once the sirens pulled up, Kelsey, didn't you tell us that Tory said, I got a big deal coming up. I'll give both of y'all $1 million. She don't recall this shit. They said in September you knew, but today you don't know. They said, were you being truthful that day in September when we had this interview? She said, about some things. And then she said, I wasn't truthful about other things to protect myself. They said, what are you trying to protect yourself from, Kelsey? She said a variety of things. They said a variety of things like what? Kelsey could not produce an answer. She just said a variety of things. She said, I don't want to incriminate myself. They said, did you shoot Megan? She said, no. They said, what weren't you truthful about? She said, I didn't see him do it. They said, how does that incriminate you? She didn't have an answer. They said, were you scared to come up here? She said, no, but I would just rather not be in LA. It gives me anxiety. They said, Kelsey, you do understand that you're under oath, right? She said, yeah. They said, you didn't realize that Megan was bleeding? She said, no. They say your eyelashes pretty. They are. He looked like he got over falsies. So they said, was anybody else bleeding in the car? She said, I don't know. I didn't see anybody bleeding. And then she said, I did not see Tory shoot Megan. They said, Kelsey said, I was in a panic and I sent that text. They said, why did you say that Tory did it? She said, I was in a panic. They said, were you in a panic in September? She said, no. They said, when Tory offered Megan $1 million, didn't she say, huh? She said, I don't know. They said, when the police came, were they aggressive with you? She said, yeah. They said, and didn't you tell them, don't put your knee in my back? She said, yeah. They said, didn't you tell the police, no, didn't you tell us that your adrenaline was high after you got handcuffed and that you wasn't worried about yourself because you was worried about Megan at the time? She said, yeah. They said, didn't you say that you didn't think about yourself? You were worried about Megan. And she said, yeah. And they said, what happened after that? After she got out of the county? They said, what happened after that scene on the curb and shit with the police? She said, I was taken to the county jail. They said, were you swabbed for gunshot residue? She said, I don't remember that. And then they say, didn't you tell us when we took you in the room to question you that you want a lawyer because that's what people ask for on movies and on TV? And she said, yeah. They said, what happened after that? They said after she got, released from the police station, Megan's manager, Gilly or Jilly, I don't remember how they pronounced it, but maybe Gilly because I put a G. So Megan's manager, Gilly, picked her up and took her to her apartment. And so they said, was there a specific reason you went over there? They was like, no, that's just where we went. And she said that her shirt was ripped, and so the woman gave her a shirt. They said, how did your shirt get ripped? She said, it was a blur. I don't recall. They said, didn't you say that it was because you had gotten into a fight? She said, yeah. They say, did Quan say something to you? They only allowed her to say yes. They did not allow her to say what Quan said to her when she bumped into Quan. She said she bumped into Quan at the police station when both of them was getting out. They got out, I guess, around the same time. Right after that, Kelsey said she got to throw up. She leaves the courtroom. We all sitting there like, what in the fuck is going on? She comes back wiping her mouth like maybe she had thrown up. She get back in the stand. They said, what happened after that, Kelsey? She said, after Gilly's house, Gilly dropped me off at the hospital. And so they asked her, what did you know at that point about Megan's injuries? She said, I didn't know anything about her injuries, just that she stepped on glass. They said, did you text Megan? She said, I don't know. She was with her team, so I asked them how she was doing. Then they saying, what happened after that? She said, that's when I got a call from Tory from jail. They played the jail call because anytime they asked questions about what was said on the jail call, Kelsey did not recall. It was a blur. So they played it. They said the jail call was the first time she heard from Tory since the incident, and that she tried to call Megan, but she couldn't reach her. They said, and you asked Megan, could you see Megan? And they blew you off, didn't they? She said, yes. And they said, how you feel about that? She said, I was upset because I didn't understand why they was blowing me off. And then she was told, LA is a dangerous place. You should go home. And they booked her a flight back home. So she got on a plane and went home. So she said she was hurt about that. She didn't understand basically why she was being iced out, basically. So she was angry and confused. Kelsey said she subleased her apartment and gave up all her shit because Megan told her, come out here. We got a house. Don't worry about nothing. So all she did was pack a bag and leave. So she didn't have nowhere to stay when she got back. So she had to stay in a hotel for 2 weeks, she said. And then she said that Megan felt bad about it and got her a place, set her up with an apartment, set her up with a place, is what she said that Megan did. Then they brought up Kelsey meeting with Tory at the hotel. And she said, I met with Tory because I had to get my stuff. And mind you, Justin had to go to Tory's house to get Megan shit. Okay, she had to go and get her shit too. And so they said, was Tory apologetic when y'all talked? She said, yeah, but he didn't say why he was apologizing. They said, didn't you say that you didn't feel safe meeting up with Tory and Quan? She said, yeah. They said, why? She said, because I didn't trust anybody at that time. And so she specified that she met outside of the hotel. She didn't go into no room with him. It wasn't nothing private. They said, didn't you say that Tory was upset about the attack on his artistry? She said, yeah. And they said, didn't you tell him that he was wrong for what he had done? And they said, didn't you tell us that he was wrong for pulling out a gun? She said, no. They said, didn't you say apologize to Megan because I'm not the only one that deserves an apology? She said, no. They said, did you say that Megan's team was being weird and you want to know why you was out the loop? And she said, I guess. I don't remember telling you that. They said, Tory apologized. You said you're wrong, right? She said, I don't remember telling you that. They said, do you remember telling us that Tory offered you a job or maybe an investment? She said, not like that word for word, but yeah. And then they said, they were asking her why she was anxious and why she felt the ways that she did. And she said that she had PTSD from the police and gunshots. They said, did you have PTSD from being attacked by Tory? She said, no. I have PTSD from the police and the hoopla around the situation, basically. They said, didn't you tell us that he offered you a job and then he offered to pay for your lawyer and that you said, I don't need anything from you? She said, yes. They said, is that what happened? She said, I can't remember. Okay. The attorneys go and talk at this point. Now it's something going on. They come back. They said, did you tell us that business offers happened over the course of a few phone calls? She said, no. They said, didn't you tell us that the offers, persisted until the charges got filed? She said, I don't remember that. They said, why did you fall out with Megan? She said, that's a good question. I don't know. They said, did you feel that Megan didn't protect you enough when she came out and people started accusing you of shooting her? She said, yes. And then they said, is the accusation that you shot Megan false? She said, yes. They said, did you shoot Megan? She said, no. They went into or tried to get into a statement that she made on Instagram. We could see the paper that they had in evidence, but the judge was fed up and said, we're done for the day and we will be back tomorrow. Kelsey has to get back on the stand in the morning and give it up. A shit show.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I think this severely drives a wedge between what the prosecutor would have hoped, that even though they don't get along, they would have had similar stories. And it seems like, you tell, well, I mean, I kind of asked you this already. It looked like Kelsey's using this opportunity to stick it to Meg.
It's looking like she's hiding.
It's looking like Kelsey knows.
It's looking like she's hiding something.
I don't think necessarily she's hiding. I think she's only interested in giving testimony regarding Meg the Stallion and her character, and Meg the Stallion and what she did wrong. Whether that means she shot Meg, or whether she's covering for Tory, or whether she knows it's Tory and she's not saying it. Regardless of the situation, she hates Meg way more than she hates
She
Tory.
said today in court that she was neutral as far as Megan was concerned. That's what she said. And that she was not bothered by Tory. No.
Yeah, she might say that her body language is saying different. She clearly does not fuck with Meg. She clearly is I think her testimony and what she's remembering and not remembering is in line with trying to let people know
Mm-hmm.
Meg is a liar. And if Meg is seen as a liar, Meg's reputation will take a hit for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
You get what
Absolutely.
I mean? I think she also has no, and by the way, I thought of a new theory just now, right? Perhaps the reason why she's misremembering certain shit, let's say she did do some shit wrong. And maybe let's say she did shoot Tory, or no, shoot Meg, right? The mere fact that Tory didn't tell on her, it feels like she's paying back a solid to him by not saying anything he ever did. She's basically saying he ain't get physical at all, which maybe he's paying. Again, I remember you had said like they'd ask her and she was talking about like she's like some real street bitch or whatever. Maybe she's like, you know what, that nigga kept it. He kept his mouth quiet for 2 years and ain't say nothing that I did. Shit, I'm about to hold it down. Like shit, we gonna keep this shit where it is. We gonna keep it outside the courtroom because I ain't finna tell these white folks that you did nothing.
Don't. When Kelsey says I'm trying to protect myself, I don't want to incriminate myself, and she was given a certain type of immunity. I want to know why, on what basis, and what are you trying to protect, and why do you feel like you would incriminate yourself? That's what makes me feel like she's hiding something.
Well, you say hiding something. I say she knows where the narrative is and she's driving her own narrative. Because, okay, let's say she's also hiding something. What did she gain? What does she gain in basically ruining her credibility on the stand by admitting to lying only to save Tory? She admitted to lying. And because all the things they were asking her about that she admitted were lies, were things that were meant to say Tory did this and Tory did that. So what does it gain her? What trouble could she have been in? She can't be in any trouble. She can't be like, listen, you got immunity already. You're in no trouble, and you have no reason to take back those statements. Actually, they're giving you the immunity to repeat those statements.
Okay.
So it's really either saying, yo, she knows that she probably is responsible for what really happened, and she knows Tory spared her, and she really doesn't want anything to do with the legal process, so she's up there just not cooperating. If you get what I mean, or maybe she's like, hey, listen, I just hate Meg, and I don't give a fuck. Like I'll act dumb with the rest of the shit, but when it comes to y'all asking me about Megan, and if she was like being belligerent, or if she was like too drunk, like I'm gonna tell y'all that I'm gonna protect my reputation, because at first when I heard what Kelsey said that she was mad at Meg because Meg did not clear up her name, that she didn't shoot her. So maybe she's using this opportunity like, listen, I'm not here to tell y'all who shot Meg, but I'm definitely here to tell y'all that I ain't do that shit.
Right.
And leave me the fuck one out of it.
Do you think that the case can survive? Is Tory Lanez found guilty after this?
Nah. I think if tomorrow if they don't get her, which would be unprecedented, but I think today was unprecedented already. If they don't get her to reverse gears tomorrow, the only way the prosecution has to win this case is to try to come up with some proof that Tory has paid off Kelsey, and that Tory and Kelsey have, they did have an intimate relationship. They have been in cahoots and against Meg for the last 2 years. And actually it was such a plot for them to, for Kelsey to come in and get an immunity deal, then flip. I don't even think these prosecutors
absolutely
are that
not.
competent.
They don't have enough time. They said this is supposed to be a 10-day trial, and that everybody could go home before Christmas.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't even know Kelsey was finna do this shit, do y'all dirty like she did y'all ass. Kathy Todd was hot than E motherfucker. I hope she get fucked tonight. She was mad than a bitch. No.
She look good or no? Hey, let me tell you this. The prosecutors is mad. I know they're mad at her. But you see, now I'm thinking, I'm saying, okay, what could it come down to really sink Tory? Remember, we're talking about reasonable doubt. And we have reasonable, whether the jury believes her or not, I think it's reasonable doubt enough. Shit. I think that Tory, it was a possibility that Tory should have possibly hit the stand. I don't think he needs to hit the stand anymore. But shit, if he did hit the stand, I obviously it would be he would need to prepare a lot because they're going to try to trip him up a lot. But still, I don't think he needs to do it. But if he did, I think that would also drive home the point that, man, this whole case is really trumped up, and he not only shouldn't be charged, but definitely will not or should not be found guilty. And yeah, again, we're only talking about this case. People are gonna have questions regardless. Damn, what happened that made today went the way it did? Those are questions that could be answered another time, or hopefully Kelsey later comes out, or maybe Tory to speak on it, or maybe even Meg herself. But if we're thinking about finding Tory guilty,
how? And I want to know. Now I know Kelsey has some business ventures, and she's a successful young lady. I've seen, what she's been doing for herself, and that's amazing. But she had bodyguards, and a lawyer that after people looked into him a little bit said that ain't no chump change. You got to pay that nigga to come rep you. Who in the fuck paying for all of this? Where the hell Kelsey get some bodyguards?
Hey, so apparently, when No Jumper tweeted out and they said this was like one of the last things of the day, they said that they were offered. No, they said they asked Meg, or they asked Kelsey if they said in the last hour of court, prosecutor asked Kelsey, "Did Tory pay for your lawyer?" She responded, "Yes." She was then asked, "Did notice that did Tory offer to pay for your lawyer?" She said, "Yes." She was then asked, "Did Tory pay for your lawyer?" She answered, "I don't know. I can't remember." What that would tell me is that hey, listen,
they filming a movie. Hold on, let me wait. It's 7:30. Y'all know after the hour that shit cut off. They shooting a movie in my hotel. That's why y'all hear that bullshit. The hour mark. I'm at it academics back right now. But yeah, that's how that bullshit. Now what was you saying? Power plays.
Oh, it's good. Let me see. Well, this thing ain't come back on. Actually, I said there's a weird world where it's very possible, if you ask me, that Tory and Meg, Tory and Kelsey, and you can take anything from it, but again, this is number one, a theory. Maybe Tory and Kelsey are somehow in cahoots. Maybe it's because of their dislike for Meg. Maybe it's because they don't like that Meg's been a victim. But they're doing a play here. And what I'm saying, a play, maybe Tory knew that all of this was going to happen all along. Yo, the prosecutor thinks that you're going to go testify for them, but in reality, you're going to go in there and tell him, no, that ain't it. I now believe that it's not what she's hiding, that Kelsey has Kelsey was worried about getting a immunity deal for. It's because she knew she was going to go against everything she told the prosecutors. I think that's why she I think it was a planned and orchestrated thing that she was going to go against what the prosecutor said. And what she told the prosecutors like months ago or years ago, actually now, September 20, was it 2020?
No, it was this year.
Oh, it was It was this year,
It was
September
this
2022.
year. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it was all planned. I think she knew that. She signed that immunity deal, right? Now, granted, I think the reason why sometimes she's being careful is that while signing that deal, you can still perjure yourself. You can't lie.
Right. They told her that too.
You can't lie. Now, if in your opinion you forgot, that you're gonna hear a lot. Oh, I don't remember. It's blurry. Meg also did that too. Hey, once you use that, it's like, how could somebody prosecute you or say you're lying based on you not remembering, right? But if you said definitively, no, this or I don't know, this didn't happen when it happened, or whatever the case is, now you're opening yourself up to that. So I said from the get go, and I said this mid trial at the 130 marker. I said, yo, this is a weird, quirky theory I got, and I probably am wrong, but we're working off a lot of theories. I said, you'll figure out if there's any type of play being ran, and the play would be between Tory and Kelsey. And by the way, I'm not saying that means Tory's guilty or that Kelsey's guilty or innocent, either or. I'm saying that both of them, number one, don't like Meg. Number two, here's the thing. It could be perfectly within the realm of the theory I'm operating off, that they're looking at it to say, yo, Tory, you could have told on me for 2 years. I'm going to hold it down up there for you, okay? Now, obviously, I'm going to get a deal, so they're not going to charge me with it, but I'm going to leave enough wiggle room in my testimony without lying. I'm going to leave enough wiggle room. I'm going to forget enough. Some of the things I said before, I'm forgetting. Because if you really think about it, it makes no sense that Kelsey, unless she's trying to protect Tory, if you already gave these statements, why are you conveniently forgetting? Like why? Right. Why are you forgetting now? You know what I mean? Unless you don't want him to get prosecuted. And I'm not saying you're getting paid from him, that's why you don't want him to get prosecuted. It could be a number of reasons. One could be you're getting paid. Two could be, yo, you really did the shooting and the nigga didn't snitch on you, so you're trying to hold it down for him. Number three, it would be like, man, fuck what Tory got going on. If Tory beats this case, I embarrass Meg, and I hate Meg. So there's multiple different reasons. But I'm now in the belief that Kelsey is cognizantly doing what she got to do, and I think there's a weird, wild possibility that that Tory and Kelsey have ran a play, and that play is listen, get your immunity deal, then tell the prosecutor that everything you said you have now reconsidered and forgot, and you may have misremembered. Leave enough wiggle room. Don't say anything that's going to get you perjured. And what's going to happen is that when you get off the stand, I think Tory's these are predictions. I think Tory's lawyers are going to give a soft core cross-examination to what's the name, because she already did the work. She did the work with the prosecutor. She did the best defense job to the prosecutor than Tory's lawyers could do it. So you give her a soft core cross. You basically dig more into her exposing that Meg is a liar, and then basically after that, who else are they going to bring? Okay, they're bringing a surgeon that, oh, there was a bullet. Okay, fine.
Right, which doesn't prove that he did it.
Yeah, and you still have some counters to that. Hey, do you guys have the bullet fragments? Okay, cool. Like, there's a bunch of stuff you can say. Hey, well, the other doctor contradicted what you said. Hey, listen, there's a lot to be said. Then after that, it's going to be Tory people calling all the It's going to be
Gamble. We got EJ to get on the stand and speak to her mentality.
Yeah, it's going to be Tory's. Yeah, it's going to be Tory's list of witnesses, and at that point, when it's Tory's list of witnesses, it's going to be people that come out and say, oh, yeah, we didn't see Tory behind the gun. We saw two women fighting. This and that, blah, blah, blah. As long as it goes like that, it keeps the narrative very consistent that Tory's lawyer painted. It fucks up everything what the prosecutor got going on. And only someone who's just completely... you can't find 12 people unbiased that would just vote Tory is guilty, if you ask me.
Right. It's too messy at this point. It's too all over the place. Before we went to lunch, I thought that when we got back, Kelsey was gonna say I had the damn gun. I said, "Oh, we probably gonna be done today based on how it was going." So yeah, I definitely feel like this was a game changer today, a big deal. They
Hey,
were
I'm glad you said that. Right when you guys went to lunch at 1:30, I said, because I was, I went off what lawyers for workers say. I thought Kelsey had a blanket immunity, which
right,
means it didn't matter what she said, but she
right,
doesn't.
right,
It
right,
doesn't, which means she can't get up there and just like
and outright
I was saying,
say, mhm.
yeah, if she really wanted to stick it to Meg, right? If she had blanket immunity, let's say she did shoot Meg, she could get up there and you really hurt Meg by saying, "I shot her." You can't get charged anyway.
Right.
I shot her. I shot her. What are y'all gonna do now? The case is done. Whole court erupts. The case is done. Y'all gotta let the nigga go. Now it also says, "Yo, your best friend is admitted to shooting you," or that sounds unbelievable. Let me make it more believable. Hey, we're arguing. We fighting. Yo, I picked up out of my hand and I was about to shoot her, but actually Tory saved the day or some shit. I don't know. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But something where she could now admit that she had the gun instead of Tory, which would contradict what Meg says when she says, "Yo, I look over my shoulder and Tory got the gun pointed at me." That'd be wild.
Right.
So I don't know.
This shit a mess. I wish it could have been filmed. Everybody needed to see that bullshit. Everybody needs to be able to see this. That's fucked up. They said something. They can't hear you on Twitch or something.
Oh, nah, they should now. Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad. Oh, they said mute. Okay, yeah. All right. You guys should be good now. My bad, y'all.
Yeah. So we'll see what the hell she said tomorrow, what her attitude is. But after today, what the hell she gonna say tomorrow? She can't switch it, and even if she do, she'll look dumb. It's done now.
True.
She said multiple times, "I did not see him shoot her. I did not see him shoot her." They obviously don't have no damn footage of a clear he shot her. So who can prove that he shot her? We cannot.
So
The one witness that was supposed to back it up said no.
So tomorrow, I have to assume that the prosecutor is going in the morning and is probably going to try to play this game. Hey, listen, we know she's not going to be saying nothing that she told us. She's actually saying everything that's not helping us convict the person that's the defendant. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to trip her ass up to try to perjure herself. Mm-hmm. We're like, we got to get her to say stuff that we know we could prove, which we could then say you're lying, right? Because she's doing I don't know, I don't remember. They're trying to jog her memory, all type of shit.
I agree.
So,
that's all they got left.
Yeah, that's all they got left for her. And then now, I guarantee they're kicking themselves in the ass to be like, yo, what the fuck? We gave this woman immunity and she played us.
Right.
She played us.
Played the fuck out of their ass. The fuck.
I don't know.
That was a mess. Oh.
If you ask me, this fucking case over.
If you ask me, this fucking case over.
Like I hate to call it over.
Crash.
I hate to call it over because I'm like, you know what? I didn't even expect her to just do all that in the second half, right?
Right.
So maybe something else could pop up, but I'm really thinking now, I'm like, yo, unless they find this fucking driver and the driver just comes out and says, nah, man, yo, Tory did it, or I don't. Where does the prosecution go from here?
Where do they go? Because this whole case, it ain't even necessarily about if she got shot. It's about who shot her.
Yep, that is true.
Y'all can pull up whoever the fuck y'all want to. Who gonna prove Tory did it? Y'all have
that's true.
In the car in the middle of the night and motherfuckers that heard something. We listened to the 911 calls. So they didn't see a damn thing. They can't prove that he did a damn thing. Not guilty.
Somebody says getting the driver. Hey, listen, at this point, wherever the driver been at, You ain't getting that dude in
You
court
ain't
in the next 10 days.
not getting that nigga. He where? We don't even know where the fuck he at. What is Jaquan Smith? Somebody put him on a milk carton. I don't.
Yeah. Holy shit, man. I don't know. Hey, and unrelated. Hey, you've been in court, yo. You got to go check out what they got going on with Gunna, man. I'm gonna tell you that.
I heard when I went on break that Gunna got out.
Yeah,
after
man.
he played
And
racketeering and gang charges.
yeah, Gunna got like a plea of a lifetime, man. I'm gonna just say he was lucky, but a lot of people not going with that one.
A lot of people not going for that.
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know.
Mm.
But shit. Hey, you know what I'm also watching?
What?
I'm watching to see when Meg will react to this shit. You know Meg really is boiling right now. She really want to get on social media.
I was on Twitter this morning before we went into court. Everybody tweeting, yeah, Kelsey gonna get up there and corroborate claims that Megan was shot by Tory. They just all feeling like, yeah, Kelsey gonna come up and back it up. Kelsey ain't backed up shit. Kelsey ain't backed up a motherfucking thing.
Hey,
Ooh.
I gotta find the video of Tory leaving the courthouse. I want to see what smile is on that guy's face.
Yes. I'm gonna see if I can get that.
Tory got me
sure.
smiling from ear to ear.
Yeah, because this is a dub. And when I said Kathy was mad, you could tell like she started pressing more. And didn't you say da 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 da? Didn't you say? Kelsey said the cool comment collected. I don't recall when Kelsey said something and said I had a bald patch in my head and I've been getting bald patches and I wear a lot of ponytails. I say, girl, you really just up here fucking clowning. Girl, what? Like,
oh man. Oh man. Hey, it's no one from Rock Nation showed up today, correct?
not one that I could recognize. If they did, they weren't somebody that, you know.
Anybody notable that was in court?
Somebody really cool that was at court is Harry O.
Who the heck is that?
Google it. Harry O. Black man.
Harry O. I see a bunch of white people popping up.
Put Harry O. Tupac.
You said who?
Put Harry O. Tupac.
Tupac. Let's see. Okay. Why was he there?
I don't know, but there were a lot of people who said, "Who is that?" Because he has a very strong presence. And you know, somebody mentioned it, and I had to Google myself. So I looked on my phone and I said, "Oh." So I don't know who. I don't know like who he therefore like what he doing, but yeah, I don't know who else. Now other than that, no shit.
Is it just first come first serve in terms of who gets in the court?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It was very strict when Megan came through. It's been lax otherwise. So you get there, it's first come first serve. Get there, get your ass on line. They let you in. But a certain amount of people though. It's not a big courtroom at all.
Damn. So you got to get there early then.
You got to be up there ready to go in.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Chat, y'all keep telling me to mute the stream. I think I should be good. Hold on. Let me look at my Twitch. Yo, I've been on. Yo, are you tired?
Am I?
You gotta be
tired?
exhausted. Yeah, are you exhausted?
It's tiring in that way. Like in the way that sitting up in there all day and that shit boring, but today was lively. But I'm more hungry than anything. I didn't feel what the fuck I'm gonna eat. I'm glad it's over. Now that it's over, shit, now I
Shit.
feel alive. Shit.
You know what's so funny? I really think tomorrow is gonna be the biggest day.
It could be after today, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. Oh, this shit like Squid Games, yo. Listen, every time you see it, you're like, oh no, this is too good. This like Squid Games, man. I thought the Meg day was like, yo, this is crazy.
She done topped that. And Corey gonna get up here and say what?
Hey, okay. Have they announced what's happening tomorrow, or is it only Cross and Finish Direct?
I was listening around, people, nobody necessarily credible said it, but it was alleged that tomorrow the defense was supposed to start bringing people forward. If they were, that damn show ain't happening because they told them, Kelsey, come back in here in the morning. We spent all day on Kelsey, and the way it's going, will we make it to cross-examination tomorrow? Kathy didn't look like she was nowhere near done.
Well, I did always figure that she was gonna have the majority of the info. So, I mean, I'm glad we get it. Hopefully, hopefully after tomorrow, like the case will be heavily leaning one way or the other. That everybody else that gets on is like a formality because I really think it will be. I think the witnesses are gonna. I think the other witnesses are gonna be a formality. I think the surgeon's a formality. Ain't nobody sitting here saying that maybe that there wasn't
an injury.
She ain't getting shot. Everybody only care did that nigga shoot her at that moment. That's all we give a fuck about.
That cannot be proven, and that is what court is about.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, listen. I'm gonna let you go for a bit. I'm about to get into this Gunna stuff a little bit, man, because I ain't gonna lie, this Gunna shit is like it's fucking me up. I got some paperwork on it. I'm about to read it, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I know how I know you got to be tired because I've been streaming for 8 hours now, and I'm tired. And you've been at it way longer than me today, and I'm like, yo, I've been streaming for 8 hours. I'm tired of this shit, man.
But we got it done, and at least it was a little interesting today. Shit.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So
definitely. Hey, listen, when this is all said and done, yo, we definitely gotta link up in person and do like a podcast. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That'll be so fun.
No, of course.
Yeah.
All right, girl. I'll follow you on here, so make sure you DM me, all right?
Okay. No, you DM me, because then you're gonna turn around and say I'm being thirsty. Hell no, you DM me. Send me a DM.
All right, I got you, girl. I got you.
Okay. All right, bye.
God damn, that was a lot. That was a lot to take in. Like now you see why I said it. This shit's like a movie. This can't be real life, but it's actually real life. But anyways, leave your likes, leave your comments. I want to know your thoughts. Share and please subscribe. It's your boy 66666 bangers only, and I'm out.